I'll start it. Like I'm gonna act like I'm back with Jess. We're live. Well, hello. Well, I'm back at Jess FM. I'm Levi Cox, former and current again radio host here at Jess FM. With who asked for it? You asked for it. I'm back, and I'm here with my friend Rob Miyashiro. We have campaigned before together, and we're gonna learn a little bit about you and this by-election.
Sure.
What is a by-election?
Well, so what happened is when a politician or an elected official steps down from their official position, they have to have an election to replace them. Mm-hmm. So what happened was our friend Shannon Phillips decided she was going to retire last year or earlier this year, and it was up to the premier.
Very young to retire.
Very young.
Very amazing woman.
Super.
I miss
super.
her Instagram.
Yes.
Like the good stuff.
So then the premier had to call an election within 6 months. So she decides to wait to the end of that 6 months. So we got to campaign, in the snow and the cold. Luckily, it's Lethbridge, so it's only snow and cold for 1 week, hot the next week, cold the next
sometimes
week.
Sometimes the same day.
So that's what the by-election's for. So then after I win, it'll be a 3-year term until the next election in 2027.
So I know we campaigned together for.
We did,
and you were the MLA East.
I was running for MLA in Lethbridge East. That's correct.
And now you are going for MLA West, which is my district, which would be Shannon Phillips' spot.
Absolutely.
So do you remember what our slogan was when we did run? Slay the vote.
Slay the vote.
So we were slaying the vote, and we didn't quite slay the vote and get Robin last time. So we need to slay the vote and get him in this time. So it's actually already early voting, if I'm correct.
It is right now. Yeah.
So you can actually go out and vote for Rob at.
So right now from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day at the Melcor Center, second floor, which is the Bay Mall, University Drive Alliance Church on corner of University Drive and Columbia Boulevard.
Alliance Church, I'm not sure.
It's one right across from the main entrance of the U of L. Right on the corner. So it's really easy to get to. University Drive
it's right
and
there.
Columbia. Yeah.
I know that one.
There.
I watched Black Cauldron there in like 84 or 85. I watched Disney's hidden movie Black Cauldron there. So, all right. So can you tell us a little bit about your history? My
history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's highlighting your career and accomplishments and why we want Rob to be our MLA. East.
For sure. So I'm, to begin with, I'm a lifetime Southern Albertaner. Born in Lethbridge, raised in Tabor.
Okay.
I don't say I grew up in Tabor because, that's another story.
I like Tabor.
Came to Lethbridge to go to U of L, and then I was lucky. I started working in the child welfare system as a child and youth care counselor early on.
That was lucky.
It was because you know what it was. I was going to be a teacher, and then
I think it's important.
I started working with these kids that were having problems and understanding that, oh my goodness, these are the kids that when I was going to school, the bad kids, but they're not bad kids, right? Circumstances.
Of course.
You
had that compassion and empathy early on.
And I love the work. So then I did that for a while, did some youth employment stuff, ran a program in child welfare to help kids leave the system the right way. Wow. Worked for the government for a few years to try to change the child welfare system so it was better for kids and families. Actually was the first director of the Blood Tribe Youth Ranch. It was the first adolescent treatment center for child welfare on a First Nation in Alberta. Wow. So that was very cool.
What year are we talking?
That was in the mid to late 90s.
Wow.
Like 1990s.
Yeah, you got a long career. This is great. I like 1990s.
And which is very cool. So we got to build a staff, build a program, equip this brand new cool building that looked like an eagle from above.
Wow.
And from there, I worked in the rehabilitation sector, the developmental disability sector. It was the Rehab Society back then. Now it's called Ability Resource Center. I did that for a number of years, developing programs and services. And then I've been at Lethbridge Senior Citizens Organization, or LSCO.
Yeah, you have a role currently with the Lethbridge Senior Citizens.
I'm the executive director there.
Okay, so
almost 17 years.
Rob.
Yes.
I was taught something about politics. I was taught that politics was poly, which means many, and ticks are bloodsuckers. So politics, many bloodsuckers. So you don't sound like a bloodsucker when I hear that resume, because you're working with a lot of vulnerable youth. You're working with the seniors. You have a lot of heart. So that's what I noticed.
Well, thank you for that.
No, honestly, I don't.
I'm not a politician.
I'm not getting the politics analogy here.
Actually, what I like to say to people, and I can say this with a straight face, my entire career, my job every day was to make people's life better.
Yeah.
And like, not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah.
And I can say that with a straight face, and
you love it.
And I do love it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, spoiled kid growing up, and
spoiled.
Who knew? Well,
you were working.
The only
spoiled. No, you weren't not spoiled. You were working. You were working, and I know, like, you were probably raised right. So, you weren't a spoiled kid.
You have to talk to my mom about that.
You were she's skewed. She is skewed. He was not. He was a good son. He's a hardworking man. I already know just from your history, and so you have a lot of compassion and empathy. And you're from the community. You want to give back to the community. Yeah. I'm from here too.
Yes,
I'm from Raymond, so small town, and so. Yeah, I don't think the politics vibe goes with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. What inspired you to get into politics? Going from, like, it sounds like a lot of advocacy work and community building. So,
yeah, in the work that I've done, I had to be around government all the time and work with people in government. Mm-hmm. And when there was a point when you just have to make a stand and you want to try to make things different. When I ran for city council in 2013, it was because there's never been someone on council with my background. Mm-hmm. And I knew some of the people on council, talked to them about this. And that's the perspective I wanted to bring, was when people came with social issues, that there'd be someone on council that actually understood what they're talking about, and actually someone that could read between the lines as well, right? So some people go to council and they try to just get their way with them, literally, and some people on council, if you don't have the right background and don't know the right questions, you can't get the right answers, and that didn't work a lot for when they're asking me those questions, because I would do that work, right?
Well, you're the voice of a different group.
Absolutely, right? So I wasn't a business owner, and I wasn't a whatever.
What if you wear a lot of those hats? How would I do on council?
You'd be awesome. I
think I'd have to just run for mayor. Just go right to the top.
You should do it. You should.
I thought about running for politics, so we'll see, because you're proving to me that I guess they're not all so bad.
No, but you're no bloodsucker.
You're no bloodsucker.
So let's get that.
I'm teasing. He's great. And so is Shannon. And so I'm happy to still be in your company and good to know you a little bit better.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, we have some specific issues. We're going to get to Rob. We're going to talk about why he's going to be good for the city and what he's going to do. So we have a lot of issues here. We have our dehomed population.
Yes.
We have the opioid crisis, which no one seems to talk about.
No.
We have someone who's saying that they're going to take 25% tariffs on all of our stuff to the States and crash everything. So it's a lot of crap right now. Honestly, it's like the world, I was like, after COVID, I was like, expect less from people in life. Then I was like, expect nothing. Now it kind of seems like expect worse. Like, honestly, we're compassionate people. It's hard. So we have a situation in Lethbridge, a lot of situations. What's your vision for Alberta and Lethbridge? That's a big one.
But when people talk about the homelessness and the drug poisonings that we have in Lethbridge,
it's very serious.
It's super
and
serious.
Unaddressed.
And the only way to address it isn't to do it piecemeal. It's not. You can't just pick one thing like recovery. You can't pick one thing like harm reduction. You have to have a multiple target strategy for everything, right? You can't just say we're going to do it one way and expect everything to change. And you have to have every level of government working on things like housing, federal, provincial, municipal, all running in the same direction. And so you build people houses or housing. Then they're not homeless. I don't know. Is that hard to understand?
Not really.
Build more housing and get more people to live in there.
Yeah, it's a strange thing.
The problem with affordability right now is there's a number of issues with affordability, and one big problem is that we're actually less or more affordable than, let's say, Ontario and BC. Yeah. So you have people moving here from Ontario and BC, and they're paying above market rates for homes, which brings everything up. Which brings up the price of housing, which now all of a sudden people that could afford an entry-level house now, they can't. And this whole thing goes round and round. Apartments are more expensive. Duplexes, fourplexes, townhouses, they're more expensive just to rent, right? So build more housing. And make sure that it's housing that people need.
I can't believe how silent I just got, because it so makes me emotional. It makes me so emotional because we're in such a place, and I see people moving from BC and they're coming here and they want to join our community. they're trying to figure out Lethbridge, and I see, like, I've had people ask me to pay their rent, pay their mortgage. I don't have that kind of money, you know. And I had recently bumped into a friend, and he's dehomed. Yeah. Like, literally, if you were doing like okay during COVID, you're now like poverty. Yeah. You know, if you are like poor before COVID, you might be dehomed right now. Like, it's a rough place right now. And in Lethbridge, to hear you say it is better priced makes me so sad. But you're right.
You're right. I know people look at me when I say that, they're like, "What are you talking about?" I know someone that moved into our neighborhood, paid way over market value for their home. They moved from Vancouver Island because they thought it was a good deal.
I know.
And I think that's why we need more housing. And when I say we need the different levels of government working together, it's imperative that government gets involved in the funding of these developments, because I think regular real estate developers will shy away from this if they can't make money. I mean, you can't blame them.
I know.
So unless there's public funding to build these and to make sure that the housing is affordable, the rents are affordable, it's not going to happen.
I think Medicine Hat's kind of done like some of this, like, they're homing the dehomed. Like, I think there's a little bit more of that going on there.
But there are homeless populations coming back.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of years where Medicine Hat, literally, they were saying they had no homeless. But now they're coming back, and now they're starting to, not like in Lethbridge, but they're starting to see the same problems that other places are, right?
I mean, this is heavier than I wanted it to be. No,
it's a big deal.
No, it's a big deal.
Let's add into this something else, our healthcare crisis.
Oh, gosh.
So now all of a sudden that we don't have any primary care, and you need a prescription filled, let's say, for a painkiller.
Yeah. Oh, good luck.
Well, right. But if you can't get it filled there, and you can't get it at emergency, or you can't find a walk-in clinic, there's only other one source for things like painkillers.
Oh my gosh.
And it starts driving people to secondary markets.
Oh my gosh. He's right.
But the other thing, right? So that's why primary care is so important, and people need to realize that. That's the number one thing that people are talking to us on the doors about is healthcare.
Wow.
People are worried about losing their doctor because they see friends and family losing their doctor.
We have like people who deliver babies now. I think we got 4 of them.
Yeah.
Because I remember that late, what's her name? I don't that lady who's like that Alberta lady who's in charge of something. She said you can drive to Calgary if you're trying to have a baby. I was like,
Leslie LaGrange said that.
I was like, what? Now you can have babies here, so that's nice. But there's still a shortage of doctors.
But then that's the problem. So there's not just shortage of family doctors, shortage of specialists. So a woman wants some OBGYN for women's health issues. They have to drive out of town because there's only a couple of them in Lethbridge right now, right? And then if you want any other specialties that we actually have enough docs for, the wait time for surgery is long.
There's not enough docs for anything. Then they say they'll follow up with you. No, you advocate for everything. I hear it again and again in the chair.
And the big problem of this happened in early 2020 when, late 2019, when the UCP government literally tore up the funding agreement they had with the doctors. All right. So regardless what anybody says, the Chinook Health Region.
Why restart?
The Chinook Health Region back in the day was a model for how to do primary care in the province.
Wow.
And we went from that to where we are now. It's sad.
It is sad.
Because we actually had the Cadillac model that serves the most people in the best way in Southern Alberta.
Okay, I'm feeling all the feelings because I didn't want to feel all these feelings I'm feeling here tonight because it's right. It's also broken. It's a big job. I'm proud of you for taking that on and wanting to.
Right. So we need to fix it, right?
We need to fix it. There's a lot of layers.
But we need to make sure that the government hears that people in Lethbridge West aren't happy with what they're doing. Yeah. That's why this by-election is so important for us to win decisively, and we can point to them and say people in Lethbridge West aren't happy with what you're doing. Bottom line. And you also need someone like me that will go into the legislature and fight for what people in Lethbridge West need. Because really what we're getting now is we're getting the voice of the Premier in Lethbridge. We're not getting the voice of Lethbridge to the Premier.
Yeah, I got to say, you're talking so real to me because I own a salon and a spa at downtown Lethbridge. I invest my whole life into Lethbridge. Downtown, I live it. Yeah. Like I'm living it. And I service... My fingers reach very far into this community, rural Alberta, and I hear you, and you're actually speaking real talk. Like sometimes, like these are real issues, and it's heavy when you actually get in there. And so, yeah, like from healthcare to teaching the teachers to like politics to housing to opioid crisis, it's a lot of layers. So I like that you're actually I'm like moved.
But then we do things. But then we need to do things that make it more livable in Lethbridge, right?
I know, because you still want to have a nice life.
I know when our council kind of redid Third Avenue and it affected your business. However, you look at the outcome now. Well, I'm just telling you from my experience of being downtown. I
see you downtown. You are downtown, or you come and support downtown. I appreciate that.
Right, and I think that's what helps draw people back. Right, that helps. Yeah. That helps stop some of the things that are happening in downtown right there.
Hey, I put the first 10,000 in that fountain. I believed in it.
Yes,
I'm like, bring families down here, make it better. Didn't work. Yeah. Do you know I gave 50,000 to CASA?
Oh, 50. Man. You're a good man.
Oh my God. I want that. Anyway, just kidding. It's, because I believe in downtown. I've invested. And it's like, because we want you downtown. Oh my gosh, parking meters. Okay. I could just go on. But like, we keep throwing perfume on a pig. It ain't working. Right. So we need to actually address the real issues, which is housing.
Yes.
Opioid crisis.
Yes.
And it's a multi-layered thing. We're 10 years too late on responding.
And we are, right? But think of things like this. When we talk about housing in response to social issues, that supported housing that's being built on Stafford Drive right now, that was approved in 2019 by the Alberta NDP government. It was reaffirmed in early 2020 by the Jason Kenney government.
So, and we're on, reapproved by the Jason. Yes. So it's been, why are we 5 years late?
Because they just kept pushing it up.
Again, yeah.
So, and because of inflation and because they cut back the amount, it was originally scheduled to have 44 beds. Mm-hmm. And now this one that's being built is 33.
No.
Yes.
I was hoping for a higher number.
Right. So, man. I think we need to look at those things. And that's why I know people don't like politics. And you have to understand how many things, just about everything in our daily lives are affected by political decisions somehow. Right. And that's why it's important to get out and vote and exercise your democratic right to do so.
Well, then I'm going to ask the hard one. Like, what about small business in Lethbridge? Right. We need some help.
Absolutely.
We all need help. But like,
absolutely.
So what could be done for that? Because I voted NDP. Sometimes it wasn't always great for me, business wise. But I'm also someone who'd rather have 75 cents than $1, but have healthcare and I'd rather have a better working community and government and city in Canada. And so I do believe in that. Right. But but it's sometimes hard, obviously, and it's not gotten easier since COVID and all that stuff.
No, and I totally understand.
So, what can you do for?
My dad was a cheap metal worker. Okay. And he had a small shop in Tabor. Mm-hmm. So I understand what happens with economic downturns.
People think you're making this much profit, and you're making this much. Yeah, it's tricky.
Exactly.
It's a perfect illusion. So
absolutely.
So we're trying to get there.
I think that every government, it's important to understand how important our economy depends, or how much our economy depends on small business to run. We tend to look at the big corporate things.
Oh my gosh!
That draw in more jobs.
I'm gonna die right now.
But
I'm gonna die. Do you know I was the largest employer in downtown Lethbridge for over 10 years?
You were
largest employer, and you know what? It's rough. You got to pay a $40 parking ticket to come down here, and you can go to Costco for free. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said swear word. Okay. Anyway, there's
so that's another thing.
Business, why? Oh.
So maybe the provincial governments and municipal governments need to work better together. To support small business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, what do you say? Heart of the city.
Yes.
Heart of the city. Heart of the downtowns. Yeah. We've seen in America, downtowns be decimated in every city across America. And it's brutal because you get the Walmart comes in and then they buy mom and pops. Yeah. And we're trying to have mom and pops here in Lethbridge. But I know there's a lot of things. If we have more vacant buildings downtown, it creates more of a problem. We have more fires, squatting, all those problems. And they keep dressing it up, but they're not supporting these business owners. And
but that's a municipal issue too, right? And I know. I think for the most part,
municipal.
Yeah, I think for the most part, that's something that the municipalities need to work on more. Mm-hmm. I also do think that our downtown and some of the businesses that have moved. Look at 6th Street. Look at 7th Street.
Yep,
and some of the good stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. Look at 3rd Avenue.
Good luck. 23 years of business. It's tough.
I know.
It's tough.
So, but you didn't leave.
No. So because I love it, because I'm invested.
And that's the ones. So the ones that I've talked to,
and I'm proud of all the new businesses starting and all the ones who are hanging in there. And I'm talking for you, because I'm not trashing it. It's tough.
Right. So that is a municipal issue. I kind of want to skirt this, but I think if there's some way that a provincial government can help,
how can a provincial government help the municipal, like the city hall? Like what is your effect? I don't even know that, actually.
Okay, so it's huge. So things that this UCP government has done that affected municipalities and possibly your tax base, your property tax you're paying, they cut the municipal policing grant, and the police gets all their money from the city of Lethbridge taxpayers. They're taking away revenues from photo radar.
I noticed there's a lot less police.
I don't think there's less. You might just see them less. But
you see them less. Just drones. I know they're just drones.
They add police every budget they add police. It could be the way they're deploying them, right? Things like so the provincial government has a whole bunch of buildings in Lethbridge.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Including lodges and apartments that they own for subsidized things.
Yeah.
And they don't pay any property tax.
Okay.
The provincial buildings doesn't pay property tax. The hospital doesn't pay property tax. When Alberta Health Services moves all those places into the Melcourt Centre, that just cut tax base out of the city of Lethbridge.
I get it.
So those are things that if we're there, then you wouldn't have. The provincial government used to give money to municipalities for infrastructure, right? And they cut that way back. This government, the UCP governments, have cut that way back. So you total all those things, comes out to a couple $1 million almost. Mm-hmm. And so if you had a couple more millions of dollars in the municipal coffers to be able to pay for things that we need here, like supporting small business somehow, right?
Yeah, there's so many things I want to. I don't even think of myself first. I don't even think of small business first. I think of all of the,
or even all the services. So
all the services I think of, again, I'm just that person. You are too. No. I know you are.
But those are things. So, but if the city had that money to be able to do what they need to do with, it's different than having to scrape by all the time.
Yeah.
Because municipalities cannot run a deficit by law.
Okay, municipalities cannot?
They cannot run a deficit by law.
No. Oh, you can't?
No. So how do they make up for it? They have to raise taxes.
The $40 tickets downtown at Wait, I remember, I was like, they're like, oh, well, we look at Calgary and, sorry, I got to go back to it. We go to Lethbridge, we look at our tickets aren't very high priced. We look at Calgary, look at Toronto, and I'm like, what about Medicine Hat and Red Deer? They're like, we didn't look there. I'm like, because they don't have parking meters downtown. We want to keep our clients coming in. Interesting, right? They didn't look at Red Deer and why didn't you look at Red Deer and Medicine Hat? Huh? But anyway, so I want to ask, what's the most important issue that you want to get across within a few more minutes here? Why we should vote for you? I'm voting for Rob, and I want to vote for Rob. And when can we vote? Give us all the stats.
So, what do you want me to say?
I want you to say why we should vote for you. Let's just, because I could talk to you for hours.
It's really, really important, I think, to vote for me as an opposition MLA, because you need someone in Lethbridge that represents our interests. A government MLA, especially a backbench government MLA, is not going to be heard any more than government by someone that's in opposition. When I'm in opposition, I have the opportunity to say things about what the government's doing that people in Lethbridge West don't like. Nathan Newworth in Lethbridge East cannot say a word about what people in Lethbridge East do not like about his government. Cannot say that. I'm at risk of being kicked out of the caucus, right? So that's what you need, is someone like myself, someone like Shannon. And the difference is too, when Shannon was part of the government, her heart was in to make things better in Lethbridge, right? And I think that's one of the things that I would obviously fight for as well.
I like to talk a lot, but I learned something about you, Rob. I just need to listen a little bit. Imagine that. No, but no, I really feel it. I know that your heart is in the community. I can tell. And mine is too. And absolutely. So this is really nice. So, I don't know what they give me sign language over there.
I think they're saying you have a couple more minutes.
Okay, well, I don't know what you want to hear, but I guess we're back here. We're going to interview, so I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Another one. Okay. I'm an animal lover.
Yes, so am I.
So I want to ask you what animal you would be if you could be an animal.
Oh, you weren't going to ask me.
No, I told you I wouldn't. I'm
not
going to.
ask
I'm doing
this
it.
question.
We're doing this. What animal would you be? Be honest with me.
Gosh,
Your
what
politician.
animal? I
What animal?
Like a tiger, I think.
Okay. Oh, tiger. Okay.
I think a tiger. You know, they just kind of sit back and they're stealthy, and but when stuff needs to get done, it gets done.
That's right? Rob. He is stealthy. He's going to sit back and got to get things done.
Like, a little bit kind of scary sometimes.
Yeah,
maybe.
you got to be.
But not all the time. Sometimes they look like just a big cat.
We don't know enough about them.
We don't.
I know a lot more about you tonight.
There we go. I think dragon, but I don't think we have dragons. So.
No. I think you're a tiger. I'm a panther.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Rob, anything else you'd like to say to our listeners or viewers tonight?
Just remind everyone to get out and vote. That's, I think, the most important thing.
Even if it's not for Rob, just get out and vote, right?
Election day is December 18th, but let's get out and vote early. Make sure you can get there in case there's a blizzard on the 18th or something's going on. 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Melcor Center, second floor, the Bay Mall, or University Drive Alliance Church, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now until Saturday. And then the election days on the 18th. However, even on Monday and Tuesday of next week, you can still vote from, I think it's 9 to 6 at the Melcor Center.
Well, thank you, because I need someone to tell me those things so I can get there.
Yeah, because you're like 2 blocks away.
Yeah, I know. I get right over there. But I just feel like people are like a little bit less active lately. We got to get you out and vote.
And it's, like I said earlier, it's a by-election, so most people are. They don't even know there's an election going on, because, in a regular election, there's signs all over and there's all this stuff going on about the election. And right now it's Lethbridge West. So we're focused on issues, here. So, we just need people to get out and vote. Get out and vote what you think helps with your interests and affects your life. All right? Because another 3 years of the UCP is a scary concept, right? And we don't want to give them more legislative power by having more MLAs.
Well said. And we have a lot of issues here. I know we didn't hit them all, but we got like, seriously, we got like the healthcare system. Yeah. We didn't get really into the school system. We got that's
I know. That's horrible. Right?
I know.
We need more teachers. We need more aides. We need better, more
homes, more treatment center. We need it was something in between and supportive. We need we need a lot.
Yeah, we had a $4 billion surplus this year.
Yeah.
By the provincial government. What have they announced that they're going to do with it? I don't remember.
So
I don't remember.
If we get out and vote, we get 3 years with you.
3 years of me.
I'm glad you're MLA West, because it's my crew.
Yes.
So welcome aboard.
Thanks, man.
I hope you are.
All right.
You are going to be. So you asked for it. Here we are.
you.